Hi guys, have you ever had a friend who makes you laugh at every opportunity? Someone who turns every situation into a light moment of laughter and joy. As we celebrate Women's Month in South Africa, today we meet a female ground shifter who discovered her talent, developed it, and decided to monetize it. Join us as we remind you of your God-given talent and what you can do to create a livelihood out of it. I'm going again.
Because I do.
Just stop.
You never said.
Wait, just stop.
Oh, schedule.
Hi guys, these guys don't want to give me an opportunity to start the show. Welcome to the Khoola Biz Lounge podcast. My name is Bongani Mzobe, your host for that platform that decodes entrepreneurship. We've got a special guest today, someone who decided to discover her talents, develop those talents, and take an intentional decision to monetize them so that she creates a livelihood out of something she utterly enjoys and which is her passion. I want to read an opening poem quickly before we go on. A winner is someone who recognizes his God-given talents, works his tail off to develop them into skills, and uses these skills to accomplish his goals. So as we open the show today, you've got to ask yourself a question. What are your skills? What are your talents? What are those things that you do without effort? What are those things that come naturally to you and things that you don't really have to bother anyone for you to do them or for you to be expressive in them? My host today is our dear co-host and my brother, Mr. Nick. How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. How are you?
No, I'm okay, I'm fine. You guys been making me laugh the whole afternoon. We really struggled to start the show because you and Tsulu are just on a roll today.
Yeah, she's an aspiring comedian. I mean, I'm a well-established comedian. So, I mean, one can always, give back to the community.
So she's learning from you, huh?
Yeah.
I'm also quite excited, Mr. Nick, with the response that has come from the previous episode.
Yes.
That was the episode we were introducing you as our resident co-host. I think the feedback has been quite positive.
Yeah, hey,
and
crazy.
It's quite clear that people that watch and follow this podcast really valued your input on that day, even from the comments and the interaction that we got from social media. I think it's quite dope.
No. It was, like I said, I'm not one for inboxes and DMs, but yeah, it's interesting to find a red dot there. Yeah. And you go there, it's like, hey, I like what you guys are doing, I'm waiting for the one that says, hey, can I e-wallet?
Oh, is that the most important thing?
Yeah, that's the most important thing. But yeah, it's great to see that people see what we're doing here, and it's great to see that everybody wants to come on board and see us making a change. And we appreciate all the advices and ideas that you guys and suggestions that you guys have came in. I mean, I even saw the other one was saying that we must now call each other Chief and Mchana. But what else can you say?
Yeah, so guys, don't be surprised. If I call him Mchana, he's going to call me Chief back. You can follow us on our social media platforms. I think we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. The handle is the same, at Khoola Biz. Interact with us, make your comment, but also share with us some of the content that you'd like to see on this podcast. My brother, let's introduce our guest for today. Are we going to do a drum roll or what's going to happen?
Let's not tamper with her drinks. Let's do very moderate.
Guys, our guest today is a very talented lady who hails from Mohlakeng in the Rand West
Yes.
of Gauteng, right?
Yes.
And she calls herself Mama Kotumela. When she's with other people, she calls herself Serame. When she's with other people, she calls herself DJ Charlotte. But her name is Tsholofelo Mathibe. What an honor to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I must say, you're today.
Woman's man.
Every day though, Nick.
Oh, okay.
But so much beauty.
All day, every day.
Yes.
Like you're just here to kill our lights and just shine your light alone.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But she compliments, man. I mean, we can't keep going me and you like this. You know? She had to break that.
She does, eh? She does. I'm just going to go through your bio quite quickly. So you're a God-fearing woman.
Yes.
You're also a mommy to a 7-year-old little girl.
I am.
You're a lover of love. Lerato.
Right.
Sunday as are for lovers.
Yes.
She's also an award-nominated comedian, an MC, a voiceover artist, a poet, an author of a children's book. You're such a mystery.
Yeah.
You do so many things.
It's a lot.
And you do them so well.
Thank you so much.
It just makes me wonder, you know, with the so many characters that you have in you. I mean, sitting here is Marta, is Serame, is Mama Kotumela,
DJ Charlotte.
it's DJ Charlotte. No, my accent is not right. DJ Charlotte.
Pauline.
And Pauline as well. Did I get it right? So why are you making the eyes?
Because Paulina is this girl.
I must go and look at that.
She's trying to creep out.
Is it?
Yeah.
But with so much characters that you clearly do so well. I mean, you really kick butt. So out of all these characters that you do, who would you do this interview as out of all your characters, and why?
Wow.
So if we were to ask for one character, say today we don't want all, just be one.
Mama Kutumela, I think.
I would pay you. I would pay you to do this interview as Mama Kotumela.
Okay, how much? Do it.
I'll take a cut. I'm here for the cut.
I think you do Mama Kotumela so well, and you've also developed the character quite well. So Mama Kotumela has a son.
Yes, she's married.
She's married.
She's got grandchildren. She's from Limpopo. She's
Betty.
She's Betty. She does not like her soon-to-be daughter-in-law.
And she doesn't like going to work.
Yeah.
She doesn't like going to work.
I think that's where me and her are like.
That lady's constantly calling HR. What's that line? What's that line that she makes?
I'm asking to speaking in an HR manager.
Wow.
Yeah. She doesn't know English, and you know the beauty about Mama Kotumela is that she's always getting the wrong end of the stick.
Yeah.
So she'll grab onto the word, to one word, and her brain will just, bring it down to her level, and that's what makes her funny, because she's always misunderstanding everything.
Yes.
And now let me find out. So now, when doing Mama Kotumela, don't you find that sometimes when you are in your own natural space, a situation happens that you just snap and become her?
Oh yes, all the time.
Does that happen?
It does. It happens very often. I can't help it. I wish there was a switch. But she's always there. She's always with me.
So is it true that you can't pull off a character if some little thing about that character you must have something about that character in you?
Yeah, because Akere also, I need to present a character as real as Kuri. When you watch Mama Kutumela, you must think of Unkhunakao somewhere there in Limpopo. She must remind you of that lady in church. She must remind you of somebody.
Yeah.
It defeats the whole purpose of having an actual character, and this is why I think artists like myself build on their characters. You give them names, you give them job titles, or they have a family, you know what I'm saying? So it needs to be as real as possible so that the next person can relate to it.
Well, let's go to the part where you tell us about the discovery of your talent. I mean, with your beautiful gift or your multiple gifts, and that come out in multiple expressions, must come an ability to either read people extremely well, or a heightened sense of awareness or scrutiny when you are around people. I'm sure that makes it easy for you to sort of capture and at a later stage recreate into content. Did you ever think that you were any different from other people? Even when you were young, did you really have moments where you questioned how the same you are with other people?
I don't think it was a matter of me questioning, but it was evident. We'd sit here together with somebody who speaks, let's say, Nigerian, and Mr. Nick would try and imitate this person, and I would feel like, you're doing it wrong. And then you'd come. Or in other instances, somebody will say, "Kananza ring," and I'm like, we've all been sitting here, so I've got a very beautiful ability to grasp accent and to watch, how a person moves, and that has always been my thing. I think that's what makes me different, or that has always stood out for me. I can do things, and people repeatedly say, "Kana aring, kana wetayang." It's a habit.
But now, sorry to interject there. So I wanted to find out. So if you're saying that if we're sitting here, somebody speaks Nigerian and so forth, how many languages do you actually speak?
I speak 7 official South African languages. Fluently, I can read, I can write. I'm lacking because I need to learn the others. We've got 11 official languages,
but 7
guys.
is a lot.
It is.
And all of this is derived from your surroundings, or is it just something that at home you all speak these languages, or what?
So my biological dad is Xhosa. He's never spoken to me in Xhosa. Matter of fact, where you at, Dad? Okay. So I got Xhosa blood in me. My mom came Motswana. And Mohlakeng is predominantly a Tswana township. But Nna, ke Motswana, I grew up in a Tswana household. My biological dad is Xhosa. But he's never spoken to me in Xhosa because... Where you at?
Upi tata.
Upi dada. Yeah, guys. Yeah, Dad. Okay, but I don't have daddy issues. Anyway, so I can speak all these languages because of, I live in a predominantly Tswana community. But that's not the only community I have. Community of friends, we go around making friends with people from different backgrounds.
But also that
and that's
area, Yalonekakwa, there's also people that speak Xhosa.
Yes, there are.
There's Zulu speaking people.
Yes.
So I'm sure you must have picked up some of those interactions there as well.
Yeah.
What was your bingo moment when you realized, Ori, I have it. I've discovered my talent. You know that moment when it's a light bulb moment. Did you remember your bingo moment?
So I want to backtrack a bit.
Okay.
I was just having a conversation with my older sister, and just trying to decipher ntoyadi passion with what I want to do when I grew up. And she broke it down to me in such a lovely way. She said to me, think about it this way. You've been working for 100 hours straight, for example, and you are given 2 hours to sleep. What would you rather do in that 2 hours than sleep. And without flinching, I said I'd get on stage and act. And so I think, I think of it as not just one light bulb. Think of it as a Christmas tree with those fairy lights.
Okay.
One would go on here, one would go on there, one would go on here. So it's different events, but all of them pointed to me being in front of a camera, me being on stage, entertaining people, and all of that. So yes, that particular moment sticks out for me. But also when I shot my first skit and it blew up. Like, okay, maybe it wasn't colossal, but it was like, what? I remember a girl from high school saying, were you always this funny in high school?
Yeah.
Why are you funny now? Where did you go? What did you do?
Yeah.
I was with her in high school, but we weren't in really the same class, same grade years.
Okay.
But she was like, were you always this funny? Oh my God, I can't get over you. Yeah, so.
And just tell me, have you taken the time to try and probe the mind of God as to what is it about you that makes you, as in Tsholofelo, the perfect fit for the gifts that you have? You know, God could have given these gifts to Mr. Nick.
Thank God he didn't.
He could have given. He
I
could
would
have
have monetized long time, but hey,
oh wow.
that's just me. That's just me.
He could have given these gifts to Tsapang or anyone else.
True.
But ultimately, God, I think, at least I think, God takes an intentional decision that I'm going to give Bongani this particular gift because of this fit that makes him, suited to this. So have you probed the mind of God on why God would choose Tsholofelo for these gifts?
So somebody once said, Hore, if it's on your mind, best believe it's on God's mind. Or if it's in your heart, best believe it's on God's mind.
That's powerful.
Yeah. And I always felt like, because I had this incline all the time from Kilimunyan, even in church, I had this thing, but I feel more alive here. I could have worked a long day at work. Every time I stand in front of the mic to do voiceovers or I shoot something, even if it's on my phone, I become so alive. And as a Christian, sorry, I gotta put that in there. I'm a born again Christian.
It's okay.
And callings are things that every human being has a conversation about. There are people who believe that I'm called to do this, I'm called to do that, right? And I intentionally took time out to say, Lord, what have you called me for? Just because I'm a Christian does not mean I'm called to stand on the pulpit or the traditional pulpit at church and preach. Your pulpit can be wherever you are. There are people called for the marketplace, people who are strong and who are gifted in terms of education, in finances and stuff like that. But I felt like I resonate with so many people when I'm doing comedy, when I'm doing skits, and so that. And I believe that my question to God to say, where have you called me to? And the constant nudge to say, do this, is his answer for me to say. And I see also with the success, no matter how little in the eyes of other people, the success that comes with it is always a reminder, Yaguti, you are in the right place.
But
you are exactly where you need to be.
I'm sorry, but I just need you to repeat that line. If it's in your heart, it's in what?
Yes, if it's in your heart, or if it's on your mind, you best believe it's on the mind of God.
That's powerful, man.
Yes.
Whoa, okay. So from a person that you're creative, right? And I'm sure you there's plenty of other characters that you have that you've mentioned to us, and you've had support systems that you've had in place, whether be it your sister or your family as a whole. And at what point do you then decide that whilst I'm trying to build myself, you've got a daughter, right? Whilst you're trying to build yourself, learning from that your sisters and your brothers identified you whilst you were very little, have you started applying the same towards looking at your daughter's skills and talents and say, this one is talented in this one is this? And are you actually guiding them in that particular path?
Yeah, so I have a 7-year-old daughter, and so both my family and her dad's family are very musical. Her dad plays the piano. Okay. He's such a good player, yeah. Yeah. He can play. The piano, guys. He's such a skilled player. Please cut this out.
But we didn't say anything.
It's fine.
He's saying he's a good player. We are listening to you. Wow.
So the family side is a piano, the father's side is a piano.
No, but we are listening to you.
When somebody walks in, am I okay?
Yeah.
So both my family and my daughter's father's family are musical. Okay. Right, and she can sing. She's 7, Mare. When she sings, she adds a vibrato to her voice. Like, say she's singing "Happy Birthday, Happy Birthday." So already I can see she's musical. I'm not saying that she's going to be a musician one day, but she takes interest in those things. Her dad got her a guitar, and she's always trying to learn that. So now that we have recognized, and she loves to dance, ballet dancing in particular. Yes, I have identified that she's got these desires, and I think sometimes it's a thin line between a child's desire to do something and a passion, because some people are well into their 40s and they still don't know why they are here for. So while I can still identify, she can sing, then I support that. Or she wants to dance, then I support that. So that I didn't do what I wanted because my mom was like, no, it's not for you, or whatever. So it's important for parents to be observant, to pick up the things that their children like and to support them.
So you've mentioned that on her father's side, there's a musical background. On your side?
Yes, my older sister is a recording gospel artist. And I also sing at church.
Okay.
I do.
Would you do music professionally?
Oh my God, no.
You do sing at church, Mos?
I sing at church, and sometimes I write songs, but I wouldn't sing. I think it's not the core of my
I don't think you're doing justice to this. You're already a writer.
Yes.
A songwriter.
Other people can sing those songs.
You are a singer. You can probably arrange as well.
A bit. I'm not passionate about it to the T. I can write scripts and I can act and I can cut and do this for hours on end until I feel like, got it. It's not the same with music.
I want to ask you a question.
All right.
A few months back, we read news reports of the Department of Arts and Culture taking a stand on, a flag for 22 million rand. It disturbed me.
It's a problem.
A whole department.
Sure.
In a country where raw talent is sitting with no resources all over the country, not only in townships, all over the country. Young people need support to nurture their natural gifts. What's your view on this type of leadership that does not take into account the actual needs of the people?
And funny enough, just before you answer that, I just feel, the industry that you guys are in as artists, right? It's literally from hand to mouth, unless you've got somebody who's also going to take a cut from that, right?
Yes.
So 22 million is a lot of money, right? It's a lot of money. I mean, I can get a flag at China Mall for 10 rand.
But
that's nice. But I think maybe it's very much insulting for me as a person that's not in arts, but for a custodian of the culture and the creativity of the country to have that, I would think that you guys would be angry at that.
It's saddening and infuriating when you take into account we already have such a struggle with electricity now. Now we have to buy a flag that lights up. But I want to say also,
shots fired.
The issue here, and no disrespect to the government, but for this very reason, I'm going to say that the issue here is we are being led by people who are outdated.
But don't feel bad. We should call them out when they really take decisions that don't work for us. And they sit there and they take decisions and expect everyone to follow. But at the end of the day, what is a flag for 22 million going to achieve for the everyday South African on the street? They must answer that question. So you shouldn't feel bad for saying, you know, don't be apologetic. That decision was a wrong decision.
Right.
And I heard they are still carrying on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
maybe the price of yesterday has changed. But look, I mean, we understand that they want to play the game of patriotism, right? Similar to you guys in comedy. I mean, if you are a comedian and you stand up and you do jokes about America to a crowd that doesn't really like America, it wouldn't make any sense to them, right? For them, they want to increase the patriotism, right? And I think you guys as comedians, you actually are the guys that make us aware and patriotic to the country itself because of the content that you guys put out there. You know, I mean, sometimes you sit and you look at the jokes that you guys come about. You give us a different light in how to look at South Africa, right? So that I think you guys need to have that room where a caucus is done and you are involved with those guys at arts. You know, and then you can develop the industry from there.
Yes, so I wanted to say, Jorge, our government is being run by outdated leaders in their thinking, in their approach of the country. It's almost as if they are detached from the rest of the country. That is why you find people on the streets asking, Jorge, where do ministers and the president and MPs drive? Do they not drive on the same roads that we drive on? We all cry at the potholes, but nothing is being done. So there's that detachment from the reality of things. And you know, I'm just thinking right now about I don't know about Koditropom, but Komaketioning. I grew up in an era where we had recreational centers, where there was some form of funding pumped into encouraging communities to swap your beer bottle for a drumstick so that you can learn these things, where the traditions that our South African people were still embraced and were still taught to the up and coming people. Right now, recreation centers are used hujima, for example. So there is such a great decline in the arts in the country, particularly because even the people who are the Minister of Arts and Culture, I'm sure he can act. I'm sure he can sing. He can do a poem. He can't even beat a drum. I'm sure. It's the same with every government, department.
Maybe he can.
I don't let him. Let's have a jiga. I act, you act. Let's do that.
I wonder which
Put me as minister.
I wonder which
do like I do. Do like I do.
Do like I do. He'll fail. It's the same. You know, it's funny on Facebook they'll have a comparison between our minister of, say, defense, Liakwa America. You see the accolades. This person knows what they're talking about. Our minister, Unaruta primary school. So that is the same thing, and it's so frustrating because you are not putting the people who are passionate enough to drive the change and to enforce it. Yet you are putting people who are there because I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? And this is why we are constantly going to face the same problems as a country, because the people in power don't have power to effect the changes that need to be.
Enough about government.
Yeah, enough.
When as As a comedian. As a comedian.
Government is so... They take the spit out of your mouth. That's how they do.
They make you thirsty, yeah? So tell me, where do you draw the line as a comedian when it comes to comedy? Where do you draw the line?
Comedy is about relativity. A person needs to relate to the kind of comedy that you make, right? So that they can laugh, so that they can, remember things about them. And for me, I try and move away from things that will hurt people's feelings. Because I'm a nice girl, guys. I don't want to make a joke that will make you, mull over it. Because there are people like that, as funny as people.
Yeah.
And I don't want somebody to be sitting in their house and think, Hore, Marie, I don't want people second-guessing themselves. So anything that has to do with offending people, I don't want to do. Anything that has to do...
You'll get a Will Smith.
Yeah. Yay!
You'll get a Will Smith.
Yay! Yeah. I'll press charges. No, I don't play. With another criminal record, that's what's going to happen. So I stay away from topics that really cause people trauma. It's the smallest things that can trigger people. As best as I can. I don't say anything controversial for now. Maybe when I get to the place where I don't fear, the older you get, the more you don't care what the other person feels. Maybe when I get to like 80, I'll say those jokes.
Kirata, one thing which I think is a key word in the answer you've just given us. For now.
For now.
Yeah, no, she doesn't want to call
you don't need change cheese. Yeah, just now I start making jokes that bash homosexuals and then
but I also think that's a good idea, because it also shows a level of entrepreneurship where you identify your own market within your strengths, right? To say, here I can operate at my strength. I am not really, not necessarily fit, but I do not have the enough resources to deal with that particular market as yet, right? So it makes sense for you to say, okay, there's plenty of comedy sessions or comedy content that doesn't have to be political. It just has to deal with love. It doesn't have to be controversial, right? It just gotta give you an alternative that you can look at. So I like the fact that you're making that conscious decision as a business to say, there's a lot of people I can serve, but I think there is my market.
Yes.
Once I'm strong there, let me do one thing right, then I can entertain some other things.
Absolutely. Comedy is like therapy, but cheaper. So instead of booking a session with your psychologist, book me, let's laugh.
Capitalist.
Yes, so you need to understand what do people need. You don't want to go to I don't think I would want to go to a comedy show and leave there more depressed. The work of a comedian
that's the worst thing
is to lighten the weight of life.
Yes.
Yeah, that's your job. Yeah, we are engineers. We engineer.
And as you grew up, have you had any moment that broke you or made you question your ability to just become in this life? Look, you've decided to take a professional approach to your gift. That requires some level of thick skin. And I'm sure you developed that, some way.
It has to be those, and it didn't happen once and ended. It had, I think the one moment that comes to mind is a collective of thoughts actually, where I wanted to break from just being funny around my family and friends to going out of my comfort zone and having people say, you're immature, and those things always want to start a feeling of drawing back. You know what I'm saying? And so yes, I've had to develop a thick skin also, because I'll tell you, when I first started, people were like, yo, she's the funny girl, she's the funny girl, she's the funny girl, she's the funny girl. And then there was a decline in my comedy where I would share a video and it would get 1,000 views, 100 likes. And I think at the height of my comedy, I did the Woolworths Water Challenge.
Okay.
And I got over 235,000 views.
Wow.
If that did not land me on the moon, I don't know what. I was like, guys, you know, and I had people recognize me. That's Aren't you that? Where? I've seen you somewhere. Yeah, you know.
Or you look like that person.
Yeah. Have they ever told you that you look like that girl who does the Woolworths Water what?
Yeah.
And right after that, there was a decline. And I even questioned myself, Jorge.
After that?
Am I fine? I'm telling you, I hit rock bottom.
After that?
Dude, it was bad. It was like, I would post a video, it would get 1 share. 20 views. I was like, guys, Nina Matata, go somewhere. Guys, and that was the one, you know, moment where I felt like maybe I must just.
But that's the one thing about social media. It deals with you.
Yeah.
Especially when you start getting that type of response to your content. It deals with your mind.
They humble you.
It deals, you start questioning what you put out and whether you're good enough. You know?
So now, with that being said, obviously you would want to find out as to how are others consistently getting to maintain that hype. Because for you, it was just a spike, right? And then now having to maintain it, you thought that 200 and something thousand people that viewed you are now going to wait and see what you're going to post next, right?
Yeah.
But those people were just passing by, right? And then, but now you find that there's people that, other women specifically, that you find that they are succeeding in the space that you're playing in. And you've obviously got to ask yourself, how are they doing it, right? And when you ask that question, have you gotten to a point where you stop actually even asking? After asking, you go and find out.
You know, I think for women in comedy, they are the, I want to say OGs, you know. Bo Tumi Morake, Bo Celestine Dooley, and others. I mean,
but is there a lot? I mean, are they many?
Celeste is crazy.
Yeah.
Are there many?
No, there aren't a lot. I just named 2 that I know, and I love comedy. The others are not black.
Because I didn't want to now assume that there's not many. So maybe better I ask you.
But that's also another problem. But
I don't think we lack that talent.
No, we don't. It is there.
I don't think we lack that talent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Bobo to me, as to me, Celestimone, they are comedians in the traditional sense, where they did stand-up comedies. So now we live in a very fast-evolving world where now you don't have to stand on a literal stage in front of people and push comedy. That still works. I mean, there are guys that I know that are still pushing that are doing comedy shows in that sense. But that is the traditional way of doing comedy. Will it fail in this day and age? Absolutely not. You know, but people always, I think also with the fast evolving pace of our world, with platforms like TikTok, people want instant gratification. People want to hear the joke now, get it now, laugh now, move on to the next big thing, and the next big thing, and the next big thing. So the talent is there. It's just like you're also saying, it's unearthed. There's still a Tsulu there who's still making her friends and family laugh. Up until she says, you know what, I'm going to just take that leap of faith out there. So there are many women who are funny, and they just have not gotten onto the stage. They've not made that decision. I'm gonna go for it.
And when you shop for a school for your daughter, do you consider schools that have programs that nurture the gifts that you think you're identifying in her now?
it's a delicate balance between affordability. I'm not gonna lie. And I wanted to go to a private school, but the school fees there is 15,000 per week. Go to the government school. This is where arts and culture in school still has to be, you know, pushed, so that nabantwana bethu esikolweni bashuta ama video banzeni. But you know, the public education sector still makes room for such things.
They do.
In the form of school concerts, or, you know what I'm saying? We don't, in my day back in school, we had arts and culture. I or the thing right now. You know what I'm saying?
As a subject.
As a subject, yes. Okay. But that is still given, you know, a chance. It's not as much as it used to be back in the day. So I look for a school that will at least, and you know, encourage them to be creative, because you mentioned something earlier, Jorge. We are in a culture where people are gravitating from the, you know, corporate space. Not everybody wants to be a doctor. Yes, there are people still graduating to become doctors, but people are tapping into other skills that they have, and this is why the curriculum needs to align to those things, because we won't all be doctors, but we can't all be DJs, for example. So it's important that even the schooling system nurtures those gifts and talents in kids.
So look, you're doing quite a lot of things, right? You're doing quite a lot of things. You've gone a 360 in terms of introspecting and looking at your talents that you have. I mean, you are an author, you are an actress, you are a soon-to-be, officially, without announcing, the other talent that you have an NDA on. Watch the screen. So, and many other things. But at the end of the day, when you go home, right, you have to provide for your family. You have to bring food to the family. And the only way to do that is if you monetize your talents, what you have, and what you have control over, right? So in looking at that particular space, how would you feel in all your efforts? Have you, between a scale of 1 to 10, are you actually working towards or succeeding in monetizing your talents? Not necessarily getting the invoice, but are you invoicing instead of being called and say, hey, shota ngumuntu ozoshlekisa imala, so good people, so be reverse nan, you know?
No, keep your voice.
That face tells you everything.
Oh yeah, Ganesh is a vegetarian.
No, you can clearly see
vegetarian. I almost said vegetarian.
Divorce. I eat divorce.
You don't eat one.
No.
Thank you, Rame.
Yes.
Where you at?
So I make sure I don't do anything for free. And when I say for free, I'm not just talking about getting money. Money is how I'd like to get paid. Yeah, pay me in money. Rands and nairas. Right? So I don't do any work for free. And in the beginning, I used to do things for free. And I'll explain why it's also not wrong to do anything for free. Right? In the beginning, I used to do things for free. Because I wanted exposure until I got exposed to that. You know, it's unfair for somebody to want to use you to make money, yet they don't reimburse you or compensate you, rather. So I used to do things for free as a way of perfecting or polishing up on my skill.
Which is okay.
Which is not bad.
Is fine,
And there are other instances where I break into new realms and I don't know anything about this realm, but I'm being given the opportunity. And that is the opportunity I use to establish industry relationships. Right? So once the foot is in there, now I can sit and say, no, this is how much I charge or whatever. And there have been instances too where people wanted to pay me, but they didn't have money. So they would pay me by saying, okay, I run a company. For example, you guys have cameras. Can we do something? And then your next 2 skits are on me. I'll shoot. edit and put it out there.
Yeah.
You are delivering a quality product.
Yes.
Supposed to when I'd be shooting on my phone.
Yeah.
So, and this is what people need to be cautioned against. Stop asking people to do stuff for you for free when you are going to get paid.
Yeah.
And I used to do voiceovers on Amapiano mixtapes.
Okay.
You know, man, I sounded so good. And even if I say, no, guys, you go to those DJs mixtapes before me and after me. Unmatched.
Yeah.
And so if you're doing that kind of a thing, don't also, you know what, you must put value on yourself.
Yeah.
Put a price on yourself. We all have a price.
Yeah.
Okay, and I find a price here too. But do not be that artist that works for a plate of food.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm coming to your event to do something, I need to find a babysitter for my child. I need to look good. I need to smell good. You know, right now you can put my face on a poster. Or calamine. You don't want to pay me. Okay, so as you establish industry relationships, do not allow yourself to be a doormat. Monetize. People have money. To make money, you need money.
Yes,
people have money, or they can offer you something. Don't just do anything for free.
Guys, it's true. People really do have money. The resources are there. And if you agree with us, make a comment, like our content. We are also on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Our handle is the same at Khoola Biz. So tell us, with what you've learned in the industry so far, and you know, all the connections you've made, you know, the work to just develop the brand and the character that you are, is it a natural thing that as an artist or a comedian, you know, you will use this gift that we are on about today, just to elevate? But for you to start making, you know, proper money, then I get from this gift, and then we must see you act, we must see you drop an piano beat, ning ning, you must DJ, ning ning. Is it the normal thing? You know, is this how people really spread their wings? Is this how we grow? I'll tell you why I'm asking this. Yesterday, I was on YouTube, and I watched a short video on YouTube. At the end, it's about cameras and stuff. At the end, this guy says, "Thank you guys for watching. My name is yada yada yada, and I've been a cameraman for the last 39 years." We don't know this guy. We don't know him. But he's settled in his gift. So what's wrong with our gifts that for you to have that type of contentment, you must first branch out into DJing and then go, we must see you on Isibaya, you know? Then we know that I know right man, you know. But is it the normal thing? Is this how things grow and develop in your journey as artists?
I think so, and I see that a lot when at the grassroots, at the very beginning, when you are still, I get at that time you are trying to find who you are. You are trying to find where you fit in. You are trying to find your niche, your rhythm. And a lot of the times, you know, some people are just gifted in one thing. So, manje, you meet Tsholofelo who's this and that and that and that, and you feel like, hey, I can also do it like that. And that is where a lot of people then miss the mark, or they blunder in that they want to do this, and the other. So in the very beginning, when you are trying to find yourself, and I think it's not just only in the arts, in life in general, then today you want to be a chef, tomorrow you want to be a fashion designer, because there is a level of liking for or towards these things that does not necessarily mean who your passions lie in them. And so it's very normal for somebody to try and find. But I still say, people who are able to grasp who they are, what they're meant to do early on, those people can focus all their strength, all their energy, all their time and resources in perfecting that. And you'll find somebody saying, I've been a cameraman for 39 years, because then they've mastered that. So in the beginning, yeah, sure, it's easy for somebody to say, oh, I like singing, let me try that. Kanti, you can do it, but it's not your passion. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Nick.
So I think you're touching on something here in terms of combining elements of what you are seeing around yourself. The fact that, yes, you're capable of doing something, and this something can be monetized, but however, it requires discipline. And if there's discipline, that means there's a change or commitment to a particular habit, right? So in a sense that if you are going to be a comedian, you would rely a lot on content, which means you're going to have to watch the news a lot, read the newspaper, and get informed. But you can't be informed just because today you feel like you can read the news, you have time. But considering that you're now monetizing this thing, whether it's raining or not, you need to do it, right? You need to know what's happening. Unlike Nick, when he feels like, no, you know what, the news have been depressing me for the last 3 days, I can shut down. No news for the next 2 weeks. It doesn't hurt me in any way unless I feel that the rand is falling or something, or the petrol's going up, you understand? But for you guys, I think, and you can come in on this in a sense that there has to be some form of commitment that you have to go with the goal or the passion that you've identified that you are going to monetize.
Absolutely. I think also another thing that will make you stand out as a comedian or as a person who does, you know, the arts, is that you need to be deliberate. It's like being in a relationship. You don't always love your partner. I speak like I know, but I'm single.
You don't always love your partner.
You don't always feel the same about this person that you're with, but you know, you've got this vision in mind. You know, and I think a lot of artists also blunder there, where you don't have it on paper. This is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Also, this now ties down to how do you charge, or when should you then begin saying, no, I'll need money? Because when I leave vision, you know, in the next 5 years, I want to have a studio. I want to have built a studio where I shoot my content. I want to buy equipment. You know, so those things will help you to be deliberate. I'm going to watch the news. I'm going to read on issues that are current. That's how you become current. I can't now I can't want to start shooting content on COVID-19 in 2022. I had a whole lockdown to do all of that.
One share.
Talk about vaccine right now.
Now, guys. So you need to be that kind of person who has put a vision down on paper to say, okay, this is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to go after it. What are the necessary tools? And you will never learn anything from a closed book. No. Whether that closed book is an actual book or a person. I find that when I interact with people from different walks of lives, I get so much content, and at the same time, I'm equipped with knowledge and wisdom. Talk to people, have interactions with people. You will never get to the point where you want to if you keep to yourself. When you don't try and hear what other people's views are, even if they differ greatly from yours. Yes, so we need to interact with people. Watch the news, guys. It's important. It's not for old people.
So you guys essentially, I would say, in your industry, you guys are social entrepreneurs. In a sense that you can, as much as you can make your craft inside the house, to say, Mama Kotomela, Utlobuaka 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But when you come outside, Rona, Rivatlabuaka Tabaya Hore, Komshakeng, Hunali taverns, more than Soweto. When I told you Mama Kotomela hore Mapedi a etsang, you understand? So that alignment, you know, but I think for a Zulu person, I did quite a great job in touching on these things. But anyhow, yeah.
So comedy needs to be relevant. People must relate to it.
Yeah.
And the best way to do that is to be current.
It's always key. It's always key. Tell me, what moves are necessary now for you to inch you closer to the day when you say, I've made it.
I've arrived.
So why I'm asking this question, because some of our viewers at home might think that you get to a point where you are accomplished without no work put in. So maybe share with us, when you look at your journey ahead, what are the moves or the milestones that you have to, achieve so that it inches you closer to your big day?
You're touching on a very sensitive topic, because you know it's a very important question, and sometimes we get caught up in the end product, and we skip the in-betweens, which is what you are talking about.
Yes.
People want to get there. I want to win awards. I'm currently award nominated. I want to be an award-winning comedian. I want to win awards in the fields that I am in. But there is so much work that goes into, and I think the common thread in anyone who is successful is discipline. You will never be able to attain the things Sodi Batlang if you are ill-disciplined, if you are inconsistent, if you keep dabbling between should I and shouldn't I, you'll never get to the point where you say I am accomplishing or doing these things that I need to do. So there's a lot of hard work that needs to go in, and it's not nice. Imagine, I look at people who graduate and I'm thinking, yo, mantanga pura chomi.
So on a different angle, right? I think you guys as comedians have an obligation to not only be current, right, in terms of your content, but I think there are ways where you guys can be able to educate the community or the audience themselves. And I'm not sure, because I'm not following the industry that well, but are there initiatives like that, and do you think that you guys are doing enough to do that?
Okay, you're very right in saying we have an obligation, and I think each person needs to do things that resonate with them. Things that you can like comedy, but what is it? What is that one thing that makes you relatable to people? There are people who for example, I did a drive where we were doing the national vaccines, goody mining, so we were bringing education, information in a responsible manner, but the base of it was comedy, so that people are entertained and encouraged to get vaccinated, goody mining. Then we later on did something on health and safety in that setup, where it's hard. The educational level of people is different. So there are people who will, I'm a visual learner. I'll always learn by seeing over just hearing. And so there are people that will learn, I need to take health and safety seriously, because and then that person then remembers, as a mine worker, for example, I need to do X, Y, Z to ensure that I am safe and my colleagues are safe. So it is your responsibility to find what is it that resonates with the people around you. What is it that speaks? And this is where the whole thing, yadi values. As a brand, you must know, does this align with my brand? Does this speak to what I want to see happening in the world? Even if I wasn't doing comedy, would I still want people to be made aware of health and safety? And that's where then you just press on in to ensure that you bring awareness in a way that is of value, not just to you, but to the people you are trying to present to. Because apart from the people that watch us and follow us, then our comedy is dead.
It's dead.
You understand?
Now I've got one complaint, guys.
Okay.
You are facing Nick like. Guys, and this
is the kiki problem. Everywhere,
you rather just.
Girl, you know.
Yeah, you face me.
He's not a jealous
and then
guy.
when he asks, you face him.
Oh, guys,
you know, I want us to go to things that you look at in your craft as mistakes that you could make, or maybe mistakes that you've observed other people make, mistakes that really cost you your entire journey. Because those are non-negotiables. You've got to move far away from them. As you move, you must play far away from them. So maybe let's conscientize other comedians, other artists, other people who've got expressive talents, that there are these things that are quite popular as mistakes that really determine where you're going. So what are some of those mistakes for you?
I think one of the biggest ones is the belief you will not expire. You will expire. You will not be relevant for forever. I'm reminded of Ishmael, right? He started singing. Was he singing Vava's J?
Yeah, I started with Vava's J.
Vava's J, Robert Tega.
Yeah, Robert Tega.
Isn't Nico Canada? No, it wasn't Nico. It was another one.
But wasn't he in the song?
No. That was Jub Jub.
Okay.
He went to look at how she.
No, I'm guys. I put perfume.
That's Okbona 99. But anyhow, I see collab.
So then Ishmael then moved to doing gospel at some stage.
Yeah.
And then he was with Josie. And even then, I used to, watch in admiration how he is always trying to be relevant. So, like I mentioned earlier, the world is fast evolving. What is hot today is not hot tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So, the one mistake that people make is to think that and believe, even in 20 years' time, I'll still trend. The one way to curb that is to have a teachable spirit. Go to people. And not everybody in the industry or in any industry, as a matter of fact, is pompous enough to shut you out, And if you can't find somebody that you can talk to human like this, go onto the net. Find things that are trending in other countries that will help you and in a way that helps you to become advanced, so that even in perfecting your craft, what is, you don't just want to be relevant in Soweto or in Mohlakeng. You want to impact South Africa and then the world at large. So that is one of the reasons why, or that is one of the dangers that artists face.
You said some. Sorry to disturb you. You said something so important.
Yeah.
And I think we should underline it.
Yes.
Having a teachable spirit.
I'm telling you.
Just having a teachable spirit, because people know it all,
and you don't.
Sorry guys, I just felt we needed to underline.
So another thing is that, like Hans Ubeka, a teachable spirit, is that you also need to be in the position where you are open to learning. Like I mentioned earlier, read books, go onto the net, find information that will build you.
Yes.
And something else that a lot of, I'm reminded of a scripture, right, in I think it's 1 Corinthians 15, that says, do not be fooled. Bad company corrupts good character.
Yeah.
You can be ambitious and you can be skilled and talented.
Yeah.
But if you hang around people that are not going to push you towards the thing that you want. And a lot of the times we don't watch that, or we get around people that are where we want to be, but they have horrible habits. You know, they are not financially literate. There are people who don't take care of their physical well-being. There are people who don't take care of their mental well-being. Watch out for those things.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you can't just be so engrossed in making it that you neglect. We are spirit beings living in physical bodies. So you have to cater to your spiritual life. You have to cater to your physical life. You have to cater to your soul. Make sure that these things are always in tune.
Yeah.
And I think this is why, you know, there's a saying that says, check on your strong friends or on your funny friends. Because it's easy. I had a conversation with somebody the one time, and I was just expressing how down I was feeling. Like I'm just, you know, I was feeling like I wanna go to bed, sleep, and never wake up. Yeah. You know, in that sense, like not wake up next. No, like I go to heaven. You know. And he was shocked, and he said to me, you know, Tsulu, when we go through stuff, we go to your videos to you know, feel encouraged and really but we never think who's making you laugh. And that is where the issue of the e-wallet comes in, guys. Send e-wallets. But
trust you to change it. You said monetize.
So the e-wallet solves the problem.
Yeah, no, me, guys, me money makes me happy. Money! How can I tell it? I wake up early. I don't get hungry when I have money. Yeah. When I don't have money.
What happens?
It touches on the mental wellness.
Yeah. So these are some of the things that we really need to shy away from. Thinking that you know it all, closing yourself in a corner. You're not an island. You will only grow as much as you put yourself out there. And even when you put yourself out there, make sure it's safe for you, safe for your mental health, safe for your peace, safe for your body.
We're nearing the close of our show now.
Already.
I just want to make an observation quickly. I noticed that in the social media content space, content or relevance of content is moving towards shorter content.
Yes.
Is there a particular reason that you think we're taking this direction?
I also observed that as a person who spends a lot of time on TikTok, to be particular, you know, I find I could watch a video even on Facebook 17 minutes. Now it's that thing I get to the point. You know what I'm saying? And this is also why TikTok is not allowed in other countries, you know, especially countries that take education seriously, because there's a psychological impact that social media has on a human being's mind, especially the younger you are, obviously, the heavier it is. And like I mentioned earlier, we live in a fast-paced world. We want instant gratification. Like you want to get it over and done with. There's no people don't savor the moment anymore. You just want to gobble things up. And it's because we are so surrounded with information all the time that in a day you take in so much information at once. And I think if anything, there's so much of a downside to that we don't want to enjoy the beauty of things. We just want to.
But I think as well. But to add, I think for me personally, I don't like those TikTok videos where you see once they write, wait for it on top. Wait till the end. I get angry. I don't like them because they are always just wanting you to stay there longer. And then there's nothing really that's gonna justify that wait for it. By the time I get to seeing that there wasn't really anything for me to wait for, I feel like breaking my phone. Do you understand? So when I watch these videos, people's time span is really, that's where we're moving. However, if we look at that, there's also an opposite side of things. You look at TikTok, we only want to operate between 30 seconds to a minute, right? Right now, I don't watch commercial TV because I don't want to say next week Thursday I must rush home because I want this episode guys 6 o'clock to whatever and wait another week. But I can spare a Sunday morning and just go through a whole series and come out at 1 p.m. at my house. So time is actually there on other things, but it's just the content itself. I think if there's no value in the content that you bring in, or your reputation is close to none, people won't spend much time. And in TikTok, you don't really get to know someone until you've gone through maybe plus 50 of their videos, right? Hence why I still see multiple people here, Makotomela and all of these other guys, you know? So it's very, very interesting. So the time span as the people, you must understand the industry.
Yeah.
Why the shift is there and why we're moving this way. So for you as being a comedian, I think from a comedian's point of view, it is fine to do the TikTok 30 seconds. But as an aspiring actor, you want to create...
Aspiring.
Aspiring.
I thought I heard expiring.
Yeah.
I know, then this
The Zulu man creeped in.
Yeah, but me nangishilo.
Okay. When you tell
aspiring.
Okay, sharp.
Yeah, mangabe anijabulanga ke expiring wena. Barokusalayo ngishilo ke mina.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, you understand now on both your talents. On the comedy end, it applies, it makes sense, it makes you very agile for that 30 seconds, right? But for you as an actor, you know, you want to be able to memorize, get engaged with a script that is maybe sometimes 200 pages because it will take an hour to shoot. Do you understand? So sometimes you need to be agile to change all of those things.
Right. You're right. Also, there are things like algorithms that social media will always tap into. So the longer videos don't appear quicker on people's feeds, supposed to. And another thing with TikTok is that they love repetition. If you do something and I do it, my videos will automatically pop up. So there's also that fight now to say, do I then become a copier of this trend, or do I put my work out there?
But don't you feel if there's a challenge, I know on TikToks is challenges. If there's a challenge for a particular dance, and then I hop onto that challenge, I'm now competing against how many other thousands that are hopping on this challenge for the likes and the follows and all of that. But I feel doing my own thing gives me more of an opportunity.
Yeah.
Or maybe it should give me.
It should.
More of an opportunity.
It's just not
to
how
get
it
more.
works.
Maybe I'm just not understanding the
very
platform.
much like you. Now I want to do my own thing.
Yeah.
But doing my own thing puts me at the back of the queue. If I do
no, Linda, I just want to do my own thing. This thing of hopping onto, because I just feel it. You then compete for this attention, you know, of whatever it is that you're doing. But if you do your own thing, Chan, you own it.
Yes, Chief.
Can I be the devil's advocate? There is value in actually catching on to a trend. Because remember, if I have a following of 250,000 people, right, that follow me, and there's a trend that's going on, my people would like to know whether am I capable of doing that thing as well, right? So when I then do it, that trend, I've just opened it up to 250 people more, right, in that market, right? So you then understand that the actual thing of getting into a trend, it has an element of collaboration there. Because you bring in your market, I bring in your market.
Maybe you're right.
You know, if I have 10 influencers here, each has 1 million. If I am tapping into their space, I could be averaging 10% of your feed, 10% of your feed, 10% of your feed. Out of those 10 people that have 1 million each, I probably have views of about average 200,000 watching in the meantime there, right? So there's value in that collaboration. So sometimes doing things on your own in isolation does not necessarily prove it a proven recipe for success.
Yes, I agree, Mr. Nick, with that. Also, how social media also works is that I can have 1 million followers, but I don't appear on 1 million people's feeds. You know, I can maybe appear on about 300 people's feeds. That's why you can have 5,000 friends on Facebook, but every day you see more or less the same people. It's algorithms. That's how they work. But yes, you are correct in saying that there's power in following trends. Yes, it's just that.
No, guys, I just think maybe I need to go and learn more about how these things,
relearn, and learn.
Yeah, how these things work.
important.
Because now I've just been a person who believes in just going. If you are going there, I go that direction.
Yeah, no. In order to be a trendsetter, you need to also be a trend follower at some point. And then branch out. But Lalela, Mama, would like to thank you for making time to come and engage with us and have us have a bit of understanding into your world and your multiple characters, you know. And I think our viewers at home will enjoy the content that we've put out here and enjoy getting to know you and your loves. More especially, So you can say your thanks to the guys and let them know where they can follow you or inbox you. Or
thanks to the guys can follow me. Okay, so thank you for everybody who thank you guys for inviting me. It's an honor. I don't take it lightly, And it's also encouraging in my journey. So somewhere out there, somebody is always watching.
Yeah.
You see? So thank you very much.
All the time.
Yes, so I'm Tsholofelo Ditshego Mathibe on Facebook. I am at Mama Kutumela 1 on TikTok. I'm Instant Samba. Samba is my nickname, by the way. Yeah. I'm Instant Samba on Instagram. I don't have a Twitter account anymore. Yes. Oh, and for inquiries, business, and bookings, you can email me at mamakutumela@gmail.com.
Before we close, Mr. Nick, before we close, we've got to get a little bit of your characters.
Oh.
Guys, we can't close.
Who are you giving us?
No. She must give us 3. She must give us 3.
I think Mama Kotomela must close with the card.
No, Mama Kotomela must close. I think now I want who's that skew-eyed lady?
Oh, Paulina.
I want Paulina. I want DJ Charlotte.
Charlotte and then Mama Kotomela.
And then Mama.
God.
Just give us, man. Just give us.
Give.
Just give.
I don't believe too. You must give.
Oh my God!
So tell us.
I'll do my. Oh, must I tell you who the characters are?
No. Just whichever you feel. Yeah.
Let me do the closing here.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So, guys, they are funny.
They're already playing.
They are so funny. Okay. Shy guys. All right. Why are you creeping into the country? All right. So this is Paulina. Paulina
Okay.
So thank you guys for and then Nalina Lamiko Facebook ke Tsholofelo Ditshego Mathibe, and then on TikTok I am at Mama Kutumela 1. This is DJ Charlotte from Zimbabwe. Oh guys, no wait, can I do the DJ Charlotte intro?
Okay.
Yeah, so DJ Charlotte is a DJ, award-winning DJ.
Yeah.
I aspire to be like her. So every time DJ Charlotte opens the show on Radio Zimbabwe, it's an actual radio that DJ Charlotte works on. She says her show plays on Fridays in the morning, so there'll be a house song. And then she'll say, "Good morning, listeners. It's me again, your favorite radio station DJ, DJ Charlotte, On the number 1 Radio Zimbabwe, dance with me. And then she dances. Okay, that's DJ Charlotte. And Mama Kutumela on my for bookings and inquiries for emceeing and voiceovers and stuff like that. Letong kumanako Mama Kutumela at gmail.com.
Can you call work? Can you call your HR manager? Please just tell your HR person you are not coming to work.
Oh, Mama Kutumela Sama Musabit, guys. She's always like, and she's always professional. When she answers, doesn't matter who's calling or if she's calling somebody, she always introduces herself because you must know. I did the wrong numbers, Amazon. So then she says, Thobela, ke Mama Kutumela bulelao. Then she'll say, I'm asking to speak in an HR manager. Hey, today I'm not coming, go. Hey, I'm seeking. Or whatever she'll say. And then people always hang up on her. But yeah, now she thinks ikatile. Yeah. She thinks but bafuna very bozods. And then they hang up on her because she pisses them off. And then she says, hey, ikatile.
I'm so proud of you. And I must say this, I really am very proud of you. Because you've created something so unique.
Yeah.
I love what you do. and guys at home, I think it's a lesson that we really need to take quite seriously. The importance of discovering your talent. And don't stop there. Develop it. Make an effort to develop it. And then you can then have a product that you can monetize. Mr. Nick?
Yes. No, man. I'm still recovering from I'm bringing back my cheeks here. But yeah, man, thank you once again, Mama Kotomela. Yeah. So, guys at home, thank you so much for taking your time to watch our episode. And please be sure to subscribe, comment, and like. And also click on that bell there, the notification bell, because that will let you know when we have new content. You can be the first ones to see it. Like we said before, this month is Women's Month. We're going to be meeting some incredible globe trotters, if I may put it that way, on the show. So be on the lookout. Let's inspire, as we aim to do here on Khoola Biz. And be sure to follow us on our social media platforms. Same handle, at Khoola Biz. That would be your social media as Facebook, WhatsApp. I think WhatsApp too, they can WhatsApp us.
If they can find us on at Khoola Biz.
Yeah.
Adi.
No, WhatsApp. But you can also DM. DM is important, guys. But yeah, please do follow us on all our social media platforms at Khoola Biz. And looking forward to another episode.
Bye-bye, guys.
Cheers, guys.